Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is doing service. I think that there's a general perception that service equates somehow with sacrifice. And we get to discuss that and see what other ways we might perceive that. But before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light, lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells and your molecules, your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together and vigorously rub those palms together. Feel the friction, the temperature, all that energy, and allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to be with you today. And it's my last day for a little while with you guys live, although you'll be having replays because I'm going away to Mexico for a little bit. So I'm really, really excited about that. Everything is getting prepared and putting everything in place, taking care of all the details. And it's very exciting because I haven't been on a adventure trip I haven't been on a plane since before COVID. So I'm sure that that's the case for a number of you as well. Anyway, so it should be quite the adventure. But today we're talking about doing service. And I think, we often, healer people especially, seem to be predisposed to giving and giving and giving beyond their capabilities, beyond their capacity, beyond their ecology, let's say, where people burn themselves out, giving and giving and giving and giving. And also for folks that give and give and give, what often happens is that they end up feeling resentful because they don't receive from people that they give to in equal part. And so I know I've spoken about this before, but I want to propose that perhaps our highest form of service is in the fullest possible expression of our authentic selves. And what that means to me anyway is not the small self, not the maybe not the hedonistic self, but the aligned self, like the core being, to be clearing the way from all the overlays, to be able to be the vital expression of life that we are uniquely. Each one of us is a unique expression of life. And as we clear out the dross, as we clear out all the excesses, or all the overlays, that the burdens that we have come to carry, all the baggage, as we clear that out and presence ourselves to the innate beingness that underlies all of the social overlay and conditioning, when we are in full expression of that, I believe that's the highest service we can be, to be doing what we're doing in a place of engagement and passion and fulfillment and joy, and to not to say that you're not in service if you're not in joy, but as we presence ourselves to the purer frequency of who we are, that's how I believe we really truly serve. Because life, what is life? Life is the spectrum of experience, right? Consciousness is the spectrum of activity, experience, awareness, and each of us comes with our own unique instrument, so to speak, to be playing our wonderful part in a grander symphony. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Bernadette. So great to have you here with us this morning. We're talking about doing service. And, doing service doesn't have to look like working in a soup kitchen, and in fact, I tend to believe that it's greater service to be joyfully playing music or dancing around like a crazy fool happy than it is to be miserable and serving food in a soup kitchen. That the attitude that we bring to life, the energy that we bring to life and our experience, if we're elevated, we're elevating the world. There's the butterfly effect and the frequency that we contribute to the overall existence, and that's a contribution. So this conversation came out of a conversation that I had yesterday with someone who is who has been very, very deeply committed to volunteerism in their lives, has made a huge impact in so many people's lives through engagement with all different kinds of organizations, supporting and assisting people, and volunteering. And what happened for this person is that their opportunities to I'm sorry, I'm seeing messages come in, so I got distracted. So Bernadette says, my grandchildren get to experience my services to their future beings. Exactly, right? So you're nourishing and nurturing these kids, and who knows, what they will be as life evolves. Who knows how they will carry on the gifts of your expression with them into their lives. And good morning, Robin. It's been a while. So great to have you here with us. Welcome. So anyway, what was really interesting is that this person really defined themselves by being needed. And this was really fascinating. Is like they said, I don't know who I am if nobody needs me. And I think that this is something that many of us have experienced, whether you be an empty nester or someone who is a caretaker, or it our identity can get really wrapped up in that space of being able to help people and to feel needed, and in that feeling needed, that we're feeling worthy, because we're making a difference for people. So in that contribution, we then feel validated, we then feel worthy. And so this whole conversation around doing service got into a conversation about worthiness or being enough, because often the things that we do because we're trying to fill a void inside somehow. We're trying to counteract an experience of not being enough, not feeling inadequate. And we counter that experience in many different ways. So some people do volunteer work, which is a beautiful, beautiful way to address that feeling. However, it's still an externalization, right? It's still measuring your intrinsic value based on externalities, something that you're doing, some way you're being, something. It's not, in quality, it's different from measuring yourself by the car you drive. However, in some respects, it's the same underlying dynamic. You are only as good as the number of hours you can give to the service of others. Well, that's at least it's an altruistic, to some degree, it's a somewhat altruistic approach or means of finding value for oneself, but there's a big difference between feeling whole and doing service, volunteering in a soup kitchen or on a hotline, or in any case, doing that out of joy versus doing that out of unworthiness. There's a big difference. So Bernadette says, is it a void or a distraction of who we really are? Defining who we are through someone else's view. Exactly, Bernadette. And that's really what we have been trained to do from the time we were little kids, when we are graded in school. You get an A. Good girl, good boy, you got an A. You got a C or a D or an F. And that means you are somehow less than the person who got the A, because that's how it's now become a reflection of who you are, not your knowledge of a subject. But it got translated to who you are. If you have a job where you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, in some circles, you would be perceived as better than someone who is making $30,000 a year. Intrinsically, like worth more as a human being. It's not true, but it's how we get conditioned. And so I think this question of who are we when we, what is that about when we're defining ourselves by what we do in the world or how we be in the world? There's a difference. there's a difference. So if we say, who am I? We often describe ourselves in the context of our roles and our relationships, right? I love it. Kimberly says on September 11th, our town is going to help do a community cleanup. I'm going to sign up. I love it. And Kimberly, so the question is, are you signing up because you think it would be awesome? You want to do something for the community. You want to nurture connections and relationships. You want to be in gratitude for what the community offers. Or is it out of a sense of obligation or a sense of I'm not enough, right? So my guess is that it's because you think it would be a fun thing to do and you would you would enjoy it rather than doing something out of obligation or guilt or being not enough, right? So good for you, Kimberly. That's awesome. And Robin says, I'm a caregiver, also helper to family and employee. I do what I do to help those that need help, not for my gain. If you help others with a grateful heart, you receive the blessings. Thank you for that, Robin. That was beautifully, beautifully said. If you help others with a grateful heart. Yes, so it's a very different thing from helping others to be enough. If you are helping from gratitude, if you're helping from joy, if you're doing service from that place of expression of your own vitality, your own passion, your own engagement, it's different than doing it to try and fill a void, right? So congratulations, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And Kimberly says, I want to be helpful. You know what? I do too. And I notice like there are certain ways in which I serve that feel deeply in alignment for me personally. And it doesn't, it's not the typical kind, and I don't mean it to sound that way. It's not through volunteering necessarily with organizations, but I give people sessions, for instance. I give my time and expertise to people. And I think, and I get joy and satisfaction out of that, and they get benefit out of that. And so there's this contribution, there's this service, right? The thing about doing service, oh, Kimberly, thank you. I wasn't even thinking about this. I wasn't even thinking of this morning conversations as service. You're so kind. Kimberly said, you're very helpful. You take time to be here for us, sharing and caring. I do share and care. But the thing is that this is part of my joy. Actually, all of the service work or what I do that people might consider service, it's joyful for me. I enjoy it. I'm here with you because I like being here with you. And I love the engagement that we have with each other. And it's not out of making myself feel, it's not like filling a hole in my soul. It's because I enjoy this conversation with you guys. It's not work. And I think that's kind of what I'm trying to get at, is that if we are doing service that is sucking our souls, because I think that many of us as healer people will overextend ourselves, so that there's nothing left, like that we don't know or remember to take the oxygen mask first, right? We don't do the self-care. And as a result, what happens is that we get fried. And so doing service in those kinds of contexts is doing a disservice to ourselves. And the thing is that if we want to serve humanity, we're part of humanity. We get to serve us too, so that we can be a fuller expression and be that service. Kimberly says, I'm so glad you get away on your adventure trip. We'll miss you. Enjoy everything and soak it all up. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you so much. So, this is really interesting to me still. I work with people to envision what their lives could be, what they want to create. And I think it might be at least a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years ago, that I came up with this idea that what I would really like to do is I would like to have my practice where I have 3 months on and 1 month off, 3 months on, 1 month off, because it's very intensive. It's really intense work with people, and I love it, and it's enlivening. And I also want to be able to have some time off to see who I am, outside of that. So this is the first month that I'm really truly taking off. So I'm going to go on vacation, go away for a couple weeks, and then I'll be back here. But I'm still, I have that time to do with as I choose. So that's a very exciting thing, and that is serving me, that we get to engineer our lives over time. It doesn't necessarily happen overnight, but we get to, thank you, Bernadette. Bernadette says, beautiful, enjoy. We get to create our lives. And we do that on so many different levels. We do that on the level of our thinking. We do that on the level of our being. We do that in the way that we vision our possibilities. So Kimberly says, yes, indeed, beautiful soul. I'm very happy for you. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So, yeah, when I came up with that idea of taking, working 3 months and then taking a month off, and working 3 months and taking a month off, it was an outrageously ridiculous, out of the box, unimaginable, outrageous idea. It kind of went against the grain of everything I'd ever known. Like, you can't do that. And it's coming into fruition. It's taken a while to be building things to a place where I can actually do that and enjoy that opportunity. And I'm still building toward it. But this month of September is a month of celebration, because it's the fruition of this vision, that I had of being able to just live a vision, and it's not that it didn't happen by accident. It's been my intention. And Kimberly says, I'm finding my balance and learning to take care of myself and my family and enjoying all I have in my life. That's beautiful. It's beautiful, Kimberly. And that enjoyment, that is service, just in and of itself. You know, I really believe that as we find our joy, we elevate the planet. Kimberly says, amazing time for you. You've worked hard for this. It's your time. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, why not? You know, what I realized was that the box I was in was the box that I built. And so I did some structural alterations, and we all have that capability in wherever we are in life. You know, we do build our own box, and we get to redesign it, right? So that it fulfills us more deeply, or so that it's in greater alignment is really a better way to say it. So Kimberly says, you're going to see some amazing things. It's so exciting. I am excited. It's going to be an adventure. It's going to be 50 degrees there at night, and 70 during the day, and it rains. Right now it's the rainy season, so it's raining every day. And I don't know if it's raining every day all day, but I'm figuring if I love it during the rainy season, then I would love it, period. Bernadette says, renovations can be very exciting. Indeed, you know, so it's like thinking, what would I really want? What do I really want? And be willing to entertain that possibility and then step into it. So Kimberly says, I need an adventure, hopefully on the horizon soon. I hope so for you, Kimberly. That would be wonderful. And no, I'm not going to be by the ocean. I'm going to a city called Pátzcuaro, and it is about 4 hours from Mexico City and 4 hours from Guadalajara. It's inland, and I will repeat the box in just 1 minute, Robin. It's inland, and there's a lake right near there. So it's like 7,000 foot elevation. It'll be really interesting. And Robin said, repeat the box. So I said, we build our own box and we get to do renovations on it if we want to. And so we might as well deconstruct it and build it the way we want it. And maybe it's not even a box anymore. You know, maybe it's a sanctuary, you know, and maybe it has parapets and who knows what else, but it can be that. What I was saying is that this decision to do 3 months on and 1 month off was way out of the box. So I decided to do some renovations. Anyway, I love you guys. I am so grateful to you for our conversations and the richness that you provide for me every day that we have these get-togethers. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. And normally I go live each weekday morning right here on Enlightened World Network, Facebook page and YouTube channel at 9 a.m. Eastern. And you'll be seeing replays over the next 2 weeks. And I really look forward to sharing live again with you when I get back. So until next time, lots and lots and lots of love.